I'm Eddie Kim, I'm the editor-in-chief of the Daily Trojan, but in my off hours, I kind of really like to cook, and so what I'm preparing for you today is a chilled pea soup. These peas are in season right now, and they taste really good, with just a little bit of bacon and sour cream and some basil. So for the soup, there's only a couple of main ingredients really. So we have chopped up sugar snaps, we have chopped up snow peas, we have some parsley, and we have some just sliced shallot, really simple. And the main ingredient actually is frozen peas. And last but not least, a leek, which is part of the onion family, but there's only one trick to cleaning them. So basically, all of this dark green part is pretty much inedible. So you're gonna wanna cut it off. Right, and then with the rest, it tends to be a little bit dirty in the center. So what you're gonna do is just take your knife like that, go through it all the way across one way, turn it over so you're on the next edge and go. So it's kind of like in quarters like that. And you can see already there's some dirt in there, which is natural, totally normal. You just gotta wash it out. And then what you can do is you can just chop normally. Just like that. And that's about more than enough leeks. Over medium-low heat, we're just gonna sweat these vegetables off. So I'm gonna add a couple tablespoons of oil, not too much. Okay. Then I have about a cup and a half of those leeks. Put those in. And then the shallots that are just sliced. And shallots are great. A lot of restaurants use them, but most home cooks, kind of like with leeks, aren't really familiar with them. You can find them in most supermarkets. It's a little bit different from an onion. Just a little dash of kosher salt. What's going to be putting the soup component into this is not just a puree of the peas, but it'll be thinned out with chicken broth. I'm just going to add about a couple cups. And I'm gonna let that come to a simmer, kind of get the flavor. Alright, so alongside the smaller pot with the broth, the leeks, and the shallots that we just took care of, I have a big pot of water that's just regular, just on the boil, and this is gonna be used to cook the actual peas. The one thing though is you need to salt it heavily. The pot is gonna be just these green peas that are kind of thawed, still pretty frozen. I'm gonna add most of the package. This is a 10-ounce package, which is pretty standard. We're just gonna let it cook. So these peas are pretty much cooked through. Just, taste them. If they're tender, that's pretty much it. Parsley is gonna give sort of a nice grassy flavor to the soup, and these peas we'll use both in the soup and as garnish. So I'm gonna dump good handful of sugar snap peas. The peas are almost done. They're just about tender, so I'm just gonna add a little handful of parsley in. Didn't even chop it or anything, but same idea. Just get a little color, nice and dark green. Get them tender so they'll blend. And that only needs like 10 or 20 seconds at the most. So now we have basically a blender full of peas. I'm just gonna add a little bit of broth to it just to get it pureeing. That's just about kind of like a loose puree, a very, very thick soup. And then we're gonna strain it so that just the delicious liquid is left. Right now, I just have one big bowl full of ice water with a little bit of salt to help the water chill. I'm just gonna pour our puree in. It's gonna kind of glop down. It's okay. So there you have that. Don't waste anything on the outside. Go around, scrape, scrape, scrape. So this is the finished soup. I mean, the color is fantastic. Like, I don't know, like that's one of the prettiest greens you're ever gonna see in food. And we're gonna serve this really simply. I have a little bit of, creme fraiche would be ideal. I couldn't find it, so just a little bit of sour cream. I'm gonna dot that. And then I happen to have some bacon. Just a drizzle of olive oil. And then finally, I have a basil plant. It happens to be blooming with flowers, and on my plant, these flowers are really, really sweet. They taste just like, almost like baby basil. There you go. That's really good.